6 years ago, this wasn't a production studio. It was an empty industrial building. After almost 30 years of working in Hollywood, I invested over $500,000 to build the place you're looking at today. This is the story of how I got here. Hey there. Oh, okay. Let's see what this thing does, because this thing... Hi. Hey guys, I'm just gonna test out this podcast, this setup. I kind of have these cameras that are on they're kind of on an auto track, which is pretty cool. It's like having two camera people, but one's a little bit jittery. I see you. It's kind of like having Jarvis. Look at that. See how it's following me? It's not crazy? These two are following me as I rotate. So this eliminates the need to have camera ops. It's not that I don't want camera ops. It's just, I can't always have one when I'm ready to roll and do some content. So this is my rig that I created that can record all that. I know I feel like a mad scientist. Watch as I watch, they're following me as I go set up the wide angle camera. So it's kind of scary, it's weird. Anyway, so I started building this studio back in 2018. How did I make this studio? It wasn't easy. I spent a lot of money, let's just say that. At least out about $500,000. Now the studio was built here in PA. The reason I did it here and built it here instead of in LA is just forget it, man. I mean, for an independent filmmaker to build something in LA, no, too expensive. I mean, you can kind of see even now, it's too expensive because you see Hollywood is leaving and making movies in other places because it's too expensive to make movies in LA. If big feature films are gonna go elsewhere, you know, you expect the independent filmmakers to have studios there? That would be nuts. So the origin story of this studio is that for a long time, I've been wanting to establish my own shop and make productions. The ultimate goal is to have your own control over your own work. And so basically I've been trying to do this since 2008, I wanna say. I knew PA was probably the best place because my roots are here, my family's here, and so I don't want to kind of establish somewhere where I don't, have support, or then again, I'll be away from family again, somewhere else. And so I was on this Danny Trejo show editing in Beverly Hills at this place called Defy Media. And the crazy part about Defy Media is that they were located in Beverly Hills, which is like the prime real estate area. If anybody knows anything about film production, is you never want to establish shop in Beverly Hills. You never want to make a studio in prime real estate. And Defy Media now is defunct. When I was on this show, editing this show, Danny Trejo, Man at Arms, it was produced by Defy Media for El Rey Networks. It was a weapons build show. Danny Trejo test them out. It was a pretty cool show. After that show ended, it was like around July-ish of 2018. I came out here to visit family, and then I saw, at the time it was just a building. I'm like, oh, this would be a cool place. I had no idea that this whole part existed. So it's kind of weird because it's like something was telling me like this would be a cool place to have a studio, yet at the same time, I didn't know anything about it other than the storefront, which is like, look at the storefront, you can't even tell that there's a big studio in the back part of it. And so it was like up for auction. I didn't think of it. And then I went on to another show called The Lost Gold of World War II, which was produced by Ample Entertainment for the History Channel. And that production company had a similar setup where they had office space in the front and then like a studio space in the back where they would shoot recreations, like when you see shows and they're like recreate something, all that stuff has to be shot. So they would do that in the back part of it. And in the auction, it didn't sell. And so I'm like, oh wow, you know, I gotta get this. December of 2018, came out here, checked it out. And then at that point, it was like, yeah, I wanna put a bid in. You know, I still owe a lot of money. I probably should have underbid it even more. I probably could have gotten more out of it. But anyway, so then basically my dad was back in PA helping to convert the place into a studio. Because when I was in LA, he had one guy he was working with that was like taking down everything. And then from January of 2019, yeah, I was going back and forth in between shows and working on it a little bit at a time. And then COVID hit in 2020. And I was in LA, and when then COVID hit, everything stopped down. I was at my place in Brentwood, and there was a lot of unknown at the time where it felt like it was the aftermath of a post-apocalyptic scenario. And then I decided, oh, well, if I'm gonna have an issue and if I'm gonna die or something like that, I might as well be working at the studio and die there. and so that's what I did. So like around May of 2020, came out here, started working on this, and then LA called. And they're like, hey, do you want to work on this show? It's a COVID show. It's called Josh Gates Tonight. Produced by Ping Pong Productions for Discovery and HBO Max, it was a weekly talk show hosted by Josh Gates. I was one of the editors working remotely from right here in Mechanicsburg. I mean, I think it was a very impressive era and time period where we did so much with so little time, and it was a small team, and we could run with the best of them with a show that was high quality, hour-long show every week. So it's kind of crazy. I can't believe that part happened. And so this is my life now, living here and working at the studio. Basically live, breathe, and eat production, and slowly but surely I built it up. I feel like I've come a long way, and I feel good about it now. I just released the first episode called Hollywoodburg, and it's trying to show what I can do. I'm now fully vertical. From concept to completion, I can do it all now. Writing, directing, producing, editing, you name it. And with the use of AI as a tool to help with, you know, stuff that would have been expensive, like music or something. Yeah, so I rambled on. Maybe I'll ramble on some more later, but for now, this is what you're gonna get. Did you enjoy my video? Well, please like and subscribe if you want to follow my journey and learn more about film and video production.